Okay, boys and girls, we have a Generac ix2000 that I already took apart. I thought it was going to be a simple carburetor cleaning, but no, we got no fuel pump. So we test the fuel pump. See the arrows on it? In, out. The one in the middle is the pulse. So this takes pulses from the crankcase to push fuel into the carburetor, because the bottom of the fuel tank is lower than the carb when this thing is really tight when it's packaged together. So you see fuel goes in, fuel goes out. I had this connected, the thing wouldn't start. It would start on a prime. Where's that primer bulb? It would start on the primer bulb, but it would run like crap and it would die after maybe 30 seconds. So what I did was I took everything apart. I ran a jumper. So this is just a little piece of nylon tube stuck in where this fuel pump would go. So I took the whole case apart. I left the motor together and I hung the fuel tank. So the tank was higher than the carb. I bolted it in the vise. I know I'm moving around a lot. I bolted that in the vise and I was able to start it up, because you can't, these things are hard to work on. Because you can't just set it on a table, take the outer covering off and pull start it. It's there's no way to sit it down. So I kind of had to find a way to put it in the vise. Anyway, so it ran good, and it was operating my vacuum pump. The eco switch worked. Everything worked except for the status light. The status light did not work. So I thought it was the pump, and I figured it was that pump, but it turns out we'll put everything here back together. This is the rubber piece that goes into the crank. This comes out into a little black box that goes into the carburetor. Yeah, so here's the top part comes from the air filter. The bottom part, yeah, this bolts onto the carb. And this, I guess, gives you your pulse for your fuel tank, your fuel pump. This goes into the fuel pump for your pulse. But I wasn't getting any pulse. I thought it was the fuel pump until I started taking everything apart. Look at that thing. That thing is done. And I could see these cracks. This thing faces like so. So I could see small cracks starting in the beginning on the outside. I didn't think it was that bad. All right. So now this stuff is in contact with gasoline and oil, or gasoline vapors and oil. So you're not going to just want to stick a rinky-dink clear hose on there to replace that. I mean, who's going to buy this from Generac? Get the hell out of here. So we go to AutoZone. Nylon fuel line repair kits. Yes, I know for a fact General Motors is still using nylon on their fuel lines. You'll see a video online of those crazy wildfires in California where the guy drove off the mountain with his truck and underneath it's on fire. It's because we use nylon fuel lines in the sake of saving money. So this is the 3/8. Cooper's standard or more. I think it was like $15 or $20. I bought this a while ago to fix one of my cars, and I just happened to have it on the shelf. I never used it. So this seems to fit on that barb pretty good. So we are going to cut 2 of these, the exact size of that rubber piece that I threw across the garage, and we're going to try and put this thing back together and see if the pulse, see if we have any pulse for the pump. Let's see what happens. All right, so like I said, we're going to cut this. We're going to put it as much back together as we could. And then we're going to try and run it. Now I'm going to make it maybe an 1/8 inch longer. Oh, that's in the shot. Okay, now we need maybe a soft handle. And a nice soft handle, push it in. All right. Now, I should have mentioned, take this rubber piece off. You have to pull this side cover. I mean, unless yours is completely disintegrated, which I'm sure maybe in a few years you'll get that. But no, see how this is bigger? It won't come through the cover hole. So you'll have to take it off. And then you can't just take that cover off. You got to take the front cover off because it's all pieced together. Anyways, let me get the cover and we'll try and put it back together. Okay. See, that one's a longer screw. Maybe not. All right. All right, you don't need to see this. You got it apart. So on the opposite side here, you got to be careful of your crank trigger. That's your little crank trigger over there. Don't mess with that. On the front cover, you have all this mumbo jumbo. And I'm going to try and put that back. As best as we can. Screws. Long one goes on the top. In case you forgot. I'm missing a screw. I think I'm missing. All right. Noise warning. All right, let me find that last screw, get it in, get this party on the road. Okay, I'm gonna get this rigged up into the vise. We'll come back. So there's the fuel tank. There's the electronics a-dangling. There's the upside down carburetor. Don't forget to hook up your oh, what's this stupid thing called? The coil, your ignition coil. All right, my head might get in the way here, but get these snugged up. I got the wrench the wrong way. I guess the wrench is broken. You get the point. You thought I was gonna forget. Alright, I got some more hardwares to put on. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got our turbo make it happener thing. This was like this. I don't like where this drain is. I'm gonna move it. There you go. So you could at least get to it when the without taking everything apart on the cover. There you go. We'll see where all that lands later. That'll be out of the way. Let's go. See what I mean? Everything gets tight. It gets very tight in here. Now these are the two barbs that we're going to get on those two tubes we put in. You see that big hole fits on that big hole. And it all goes on at the same time, which makes it super convenient. Let's get some nuts. I may or may not have lost the other washer. All right, let's send her home. See what happens. Oops. And give it a little wackaroo. So you really need, these things don't need to be monster tight, snug. See if I take you out of the stand here. So that's an aftermarket filter. I put that on. Can you see those tubes? They fit nice and snug. Can't get the camera super close in. Sorry about that. Yeah, so they're in there. They're nice and snug. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, put the pump back on, plumb it back together. Okay. I think there's fuel in there. That's that. Let's find our pump. Fuel goes in. Fuel goes out. Get the proper tools there. Get the pulse line in. That's going to mount on there. Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry, boys and girls. It is what it is. Would you look at that? Oh, well, we got to turn this on. Ooh, that's nice. It primes up. All right, I don't know if you can see that. That's the kill switch. This gets wired in along with this, and it's a big knob on the side. I'm sure you've seen it with yours. All right. So we just got to figure out where that one went. Where'd Right. So this is your carburetor throttle control. What else do we need? I think that's it. We just primed it. Let's set the choke. I'm going to move you back in the stand and we'll see if this thing runs. We'll open the garage door so we're not breathing in toxic fumes. Say that's fixed. Let's put the cover back on it and get this thing out the door. Okay, so what we got to do is these two little holes, we got, the motor has locator pins on it, and we are going to utilize those locator pins. They gotta slide in there. Again, this thing's big, heavy, and awkward. Close. There we go. So, there's this little rubber isolator that goes around the plastics on the muffler. That fall off. Okay. So this is a pin that's got to go in there. The fuel tank goes like so, but we need a rubber isolator. Get you in there, buddy. Then you got the little evap hose. Just get the rubber around. You might be able to take the cap off or pull this rubber off, but you don't need to pull the rubber off. You could form it nicely. All right. Manipulate the wires back into their little harness here. So they're not going to go any other way. Back in the harness and get a zip tie. All right, so let's do this guy. Get the purge bulb grommet in there. Knock your muffler grommet back off. All right. Now let me get more hardware. All right, so you see that little nub in there underneath the fuel tank? So we got to line that up with that, and then the cross gets lined up with that cross. This thing kind of gets sandwiched in here. This is a weird design. This is going to just sit in there, really. And my head's in the way, I understand, but I can't seize what I'm doing. Wow, it just fits. You got to take the fuel tank out. Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive. I told you these things are tight. All right. So, remember the nubbin. Fuel tank back on. That is tight. Okay. So now we have our front cover. I know it's hard to see it. This is just something I was using to hang it up when it was clamped in the vise. Make sure everything's connected. Just start them. Just start them so we could get our wiring tucked in. That's just the front plate. This is below that. That goes like so. Route your wiring nice. Go underneath. Okay, what else? That one on there. Right. Okay. So now the front cover, the top cover, the other half of the side cover goes on, but this was like screwed into it. All right, we'll figure it out. Okay, boys and girls. Excuse me, this is going to be difficult to show you. So I'll show you as best as I could. Here's your micro switch. It just sits in there. Okay? Now you have your cover plate. Make sure the wiring goes through the notch. Cover plate, 2 screws. And now the back of your fuel switch is going to thread in there, and then the back of the pull cord, or the front of the pull cord, is going to thread in there. If I remember correctly, there was only 1 screw in there. And now there's 2. On the back side, you got the fuel switch. It's going to be tight. How did I get that out? It's a small one. Let's see. You gotta like hold it in, and there's only 1 screw. You see the bottom of it in there. All right, we'll come back to you. You can figure it out. All right, so a little trick. Get the handle on. Line it up, get the handle on, then you could reach. You could do the little reach around and get to the back side there. Now that's 8mm. Let's try and Get that tight. Don't forget your screw, that'll rattle out to hold the hold that fuel switch in. Okay, maneuver it into place here. We got a bolt hole. What's going on? Oh dear. We don't want to start getting it together already. All right, let's stand this bad boy up. Fuel tank cover. Get it pretty. Okay. All right. Let's get these bottom bolts in. The rubber trim for the fuel tank has little tabs that hold it together, so it sits in there nice. Those aren't the right screws. Get with the program. Get with the program, buddy. Take our little cover, pop that on, turn it this way. So, see these little, you can't see it from where you are, but under here, oh yeah, you can see them. Those little holes, and those are for these little drains. So just catch it on there. They'll go in there. Have them stick out like so. Let's see. Now we can get our front face on. This thing is tight. There is a lot of wires back there. There's no there's nothing back there. Well, I guess that broke. All right, let's see if it runs. Let's check it out. On. Choke. Should already be primed. It's holding a prime. Smoky. Proof of concept. Alright, boys and girls, good luck with your projects. Who needs a status light? Just plug it in, it'll work.